10,000 to millions of years ago, when you're isolated or single, you're going to die. Right? So kung single ka pa rin tomorrow, hindi natin alam, di ba? Pero kidding aside, okay? Our ancestors nagkaroon ng ganong survival instinct to group together, right? Not because they love each other, no, but because the survival instinct that they have, if they are isolated, they're gonna die. It's either because of the predators, it's either because they're too fragile, or it's either because no one's going to watch their back. Okay? So, we have this, we see love as a romantic, at the same time, platonic gesture. Okay, na kapag hinalikan natin sa pisngi yung loved ones natin, it's a romantic gesture. That's how we form, or that is how we formulate what love is. But thousands and millions of years ago, love was not a cultural aspect, but a survival instinct. We see love now as more colloquial, but back then, love is about bonding, attachment, and cooperation on each other na may tatayo or may gising kapag yung isa sa kanila ay tulog. Kasi kapag parehas silang tulog, parehas silang mamamatay. Kasi kakainin sila ng mga predator. Right? And, for example, we see love kasi, like for example, yung pusa, kapag nanganak yung pusa, hindi dahil love nila yung kittens. It's because their survival instinct predates thousands and millions of years ago that they need to protect and feed that kitten. So kapag nanganak yung pusa and then may manok na nakatabi dyan, mamahalin niya yan. Not because in a way that we know how, but it's because that animal is literally engineered to protect that nearest species kapag nanganak siya. Okay? So, cats do not know what love is, but they need to protect their offspring. And that is what love its origin. It was not a feeling, but it was a survival architecture. Pero ngayon kasi, now, yung survival architecture natin ngayon, it's more about psychological and sociological than physical. Okay? Kasi dati, para mag-survive tayo, we need to hunt. Right? Kasi kapag di tayo nag-hunt, walang makakain, mamatay yung tribe. Now, we have these basic needs for us to survive anymore. So yung survival na yan, it's either food, water, shelter, and then on top of that is the belonging. Okay? So pero paano ba tayo magsusurvive in a modern society right now? We survive by participating in society. We survive by doing our role. And sometimes the avenue of participating in society and doing our role is how to get a career in this modern society. Kasi kapag may career tayo, we can afford the basic needs. And then if we can afford the basic needs, we can afford the top of the pyramid to survive in the modern world. Okay? Pero, hindi kasi lahat na-figure out na yung career nila. Hindi naman lahat, gumating ng college, alam yung gusto nila sa buhay. Some of us picked the program courses that we had, not because out of passion, but out of practicality to survive. Some of you might be kailangan, gantong kurso o programa yung kukunin kasi panganay ako, breadwinner ako, kailangan may ahon natin sa poverty yung family natin, again, to survive. And it has always been the case. Right now, our survival is more psychological and sociological than physical anymore. Okay? So, I have an analogy for you. So, di ba, for example, may boiling kettle. So, sa boiling kettle na yun, kapag hinawakan natin yan, we tend to react, tatanggalin agad. Correct? Kapag tinanggal natin yun, kapag hindi tayo nag-react, tatanggalin yun. Kapag we did not feel pain, if we did not feel the burn, we could have had more fatal injury than just burn. Okay? So our body is wired to have a reactive and controllable matter. So for example, kapag binato ko tong mic sa inyo, mababuto ko tong mic sa inyo kasi kontrolado ko yung outcome ng mangyayari ngayon. Okay? Our body perceives everything. Our brain perceives everything as a controllable threat. Okay? So for example, millions and thousands of years ago, kapag may malaking elepante na nadyan, ayaw ko makipagsuntukan. Kasi kontrolado ko yung locomotive functions ko. But now, again, our threat now is not more primarily physical, but psychological and sociological. When there's future, when there's events, like makakapasa ba ako sa exam, saan ako pupulutin kapag graduate ako? Diba? Or, paano ako makakapag-do well dun sa interview? Paano ako makakahanap ng internships? Our body is perceiving these external threats as a controllable factor when it's not. Okay? Eh, ano pa bang gagawin ng brain natin para makontrol yun? It sends signal to our brain na kontrolin mo to, dapat you will do perfect in that interview. Okay? And that's where anxiety is. Those anxiety is trying to make you think that it's perfect, it has to be controllable when it's not. Whereas, I may not be able to do well, I may not be able to do the outcome of that interview. Hindi ko kontrolado kung gugustuhin ako ng hiring manager or not. But kontrolado ko on how can I prepare. Okay? And hindi ko kontrolado kung gaano ka difficult yung exams. But kontrolado ko kung how can I study on that exam. And by that, right, that thinking alone give me to many places. Nakarating ako I'm in my career right now because I let go the illusion of control. I'm in the phase of my career right now because I let go of the things that I don't have control of, and I focus on my energy that actually matters. Okay. So when nandun na ako sa career ko, ito naman yung nag-hit sa akin like a truck. Okay. Do I really deserve this? I'm in the group of people right now where I lead communities. I teach people, right? And I teach cloud. And I have skilled people as well. I mentor people as well. And I'm in the leadership position. I'm in my dream internship na, diba? Kapag nalagpasan na natin yung anxiety part and then nandun na tayo sa position na gusto natin, this will going to hit us. The imposter syndrome. Okay, and that imposter syndrome also has a biological sense. So ito, our ancestors, right, kapag wala na silang matanim, they migrate. Kapag too hot or too cold yung environment, they migrate. Kapag masyadong maraming predators, they migrate. Kapag wala na silang mahunt, they migrate. Their environment was crucial to their survival. Right? If they did not migrate, they die. When we go to the extremist strange part of our lives, and we feel like we don't belong, right? Sometimes we question our worth na, deserve ko ba talaga to? Dapat pa nandito ako, mas magaling pa nga yung mga tao na nandito. And that is imposter syndrome. In a biological sense, your instinct is trying to tell you that you need to survive in that environment. Kasi kapag hindi ka nagkakaroon ng imposter syndrome, something is wrong. Kasi imagine kapag ito hindi sila lumipat, they die. If you are in the place or you're in a position right now, they will feel like you're not enough. Congratulations, you are surviving. That's your survival instinct. Okay? I want to tell you a story. When I was entering college, I was really in a very bad place. Okay, my dad had a stroke. Okay, hindi ko alam kung saan ako papatungo yung buhay. Hindi ko alam kung anong kukunin kong degree, etc., etc. And by that, right, narinig kasi ako lone wolf mentality. Whereas I need to figure out everything alone. And it's not. Okay? Science tells us, and biology and our ancestor tells us, that if you are isolated, you will die. And nung time na yun, 3 months akong shinut down yung everyone until eventually I reached out. Yung first community organization ko was with my friends actually. It's called the Jollibee Project. Yung Jollibee Project na to, whereas we ride to Manila to give meals to the children and people in the streets. That was before I entered college. And that was my first community engagement. I did this habang silang-sira pa ako sa buhay ko. Right? And then I realized that you do not need to love yourself before you love somebody else. You do not need to feel full to give. You do not need to feel ready, right, to do something. Because no one ever is ready. No one ever is figured out. Now in my stage of my life right now, right, and it seems like I already figured out everything kasi ang dami ko na nagawa. But to mind you, I'm still figuring out along the way. I am still migrating, and I am still figuring out the way as I migrate. Because our ancestors, wala naman silang mapa noon. Diba? Na ito yung north, ito yung south, ito yung southwest Philippine Sea. Hindi. Walang ganun yung ancestors natin, but they migrate responding on the demands of the moment. And that's exactly what I did. And right now, we created now an organization. When I entered college, we created now an organization. And pumunta ako ng community. Kasi, for example, ito, TEDx. Some of you might be first time in joining event. Pumunta ako kasi may pagkain. And yung pagkain na yun, nagulat ako, yung pinag-uusapan nila doon, hindi na pag-uusapan sa school. So we need to do something about it. So we created an organization about that, and then eventually it transferred into a national scale. So it started from one club, from one university, now it's almost 50, going 100 nationwide. That's how powerful a community is. And imagine if I joined in that event, okay? Pero, nag-join lang ako, hindi ako nakipag-connect, hindi ako nakipag-reach out. I will not able to do this. If I did not know my mentor, his name is Rafael Jambi, I will not be able to create the organization. Sometimes we attend the event not because for the speakers, but sometimes we attend the event but because we need to feel in the relationship again. And that's a biological instinct because your survivability wants you to survive. And grace in abundance arrives when my nervous system stops preparing for loss. And lahat na nagawa ko ngayon, I'm in a place right now I am completely capable now. And you might be me during, before I entered college, which is feel like lost, okay? And I was really insecure back then. Paano nyo mapindot? I was really feeling insecure back then, and I was really feel anxious, right, in my career. But I did not feel ready, but I go anyway. Okay, and my career I'm in a position of my career right now because it's closely tied with my engagement with the community. And my community became a platform and my visibility for others as well na same yung band-aid sa wood na pinaggagalingan nila. And that kind of spark led to a national scale. whereas a group of students feel lost, right? And now they join community, not just because gusto nila mag-upskill, right? But they need to feel belonged. Because if you're not going to survive college being alone, you're not going to survive life being alone. Okay? But as like thousands and millions of years ago, okay, love, we don't even realize it, is minamahal na pala natin yung ibang tao way more than we love ourselves. And that's really beautiful. Because we don't never figure out ourselves. Hindi natin ma-figure out talaga yung sarili natin eh. Right? But what we can do is to love others. And that's what we did. And love is in the air, but it's also engineered within you. Okay? So okay lang kung walang Valentine's, basta nasa community kayo. Okay lang yun. But love is also not the feeling that we wait for, but also the system that we build for others. And it's also the way on how we can engage more in the community to do something about it. When we see injustice, when we see inequalities, right? We feel like personal struggle siya, but your social role derives from personal struggle. Okay? And then, one day, sooner or later, you guys are going to be in here, and yung personal struggle nyo will become your advocacy for others as a survival guide. And that way, love isn't just about romantic gestures, but it predates thousands of years ago. It's structural and systematic. Thank you.